Hello, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. It is so good to see you. I hope you're having a lovely Valentine's Day. And I'm sorry I was running a couple minutes late. I couldn't seem to get my act together, but I'm here now and ready to have fun with you. So, how is everyone? Let's see. I want to see all who's here. So it is so good to see you. Okay, Susan Smith and Sherry Hogan. I'm impressed, Miss Sherry. Nikki Phillips. Hi, sweet girl. So good to see you, Susan. Susie Blake, one of I think our newest member. Nice to see you, Susie. Kathy Klein. Hi, sweetie. Nikki Phipps. In fact, I think it was you, the Kathy Klein, who I saw on Alex Anderson's show the other day. It's neat seeing y'all sign in. Usually I just watch with signing in because when it's not my show, I'm shy. So anyway, but I truly am a shy person. But, talking to y'all are friends. I don't have to be shy around y'all. So let's see. Jamie's Crafty World is here. Look at all of you. Sonia, my sweetie. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. That's one. Yeah, I hope Miss Crystal's there. What a cutie girl Miss Crystal is. It's so good to see all of you. Marcia's here. Hi, sweetie. Nadine is here. Hi, darling. Yeah, we were safe. I just was running. Actually, I was trying to iron a piece of vinyl. That's tricky, but we'll talk about that a little later. Laura's here. Hi, sweetie. It is so good to see all of you. And I've been so tickled because our group has grown. We have a Groups IO group where we kind of do more of this all week long. So if you have joined us and we recognize you, we would love to invite you to the Groups IO. But we exchange free patterns. We post photos of things we do or our families, and we just have a good time. So Linda McCollum is here. Hi, sweetheart. There's Miss Bonnie. Oh, Miss Bonnie, I've been worried about your back, darling. So I'm hoping you're feeling a little bit better. Hopefully this cross stitching might give you a chance to rest that back a little bit. It's a little less aerobic than quilting, if you know, but it is so good. It's so good to see all of you. Now, I've been working on a couple projects today, so I haven't really done a last minute check for your photos. But I do have a good amount of photos to share with you. But always feel free to show us what you're working on. Show pictures of your grandkids if that's all right. Let me know if you don't want me to share them. But we love seeing what you're doing, what the weather's like where you are. And one thing I have found is some of you guys have some really wild weather. So anyway, I was just looking. Let me see. I think I have something in my pocket I need to check. Yes. Normally, I like wearing pretty rings when I'm on here, and I forgot to put them on today, so I was just looking for them. I tell you what, sometimes I'm just lucky to get fully dressed before it's time to turn on the camera. So, but I try not. I don't want to scare children. But anyway, it is so good to see you. So today, oh my gosh, Jamie has 8 inches of snow. I'm thrilled. I wish we had it. Here we were waiting overnight because we had some pretty ice yesterday. We said, oh, it's going to get more. We're going to have more and it's going to get worse. Oh my gosh. No, nothing. And so, because yesterday I told Mark, I said, it's really odd. There's like frozen rain falling and it was the ice coming off the trees after the morning. 3 days straight. Oh, man, I'd love snow. Cross stitching is less. Nadine, you're so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Miss Nikki. You make me feel so good. I feel a little frumpy today, but you make me feel good. So I'll show y'all. I cut my hair. I got my sewing scissors, and I just got out of the shower and I just said, I'm cutting this off. And I said, might end up looking terrible, but it always grows back. I haven't had my hair professionally cut now for a year. And I keep hoping that COVID's going to wane so I can get out there and go get my hair cut. And that's what they need. They need drive-through haircuts. There we go. But I finished my Valentine's table cover, although I have to admit, it takes a long time to sew on all those tiny buttons. And so I hot glued them for today because I only had 9 or 3 sewed on in time. And I knew I wasn't going to have time to sew 36 of them on. So if you happen to notice a little shine from hot glue, I said, Deb, you don't need to tell them everything. But yes, I do. I don't like keeping secrets from friends. So here it is. Here is my Valentine's table cover. And I am very proud of it. And I'd like to say I can put it in the check done column, but I'll have to take it up today, peel off the hot glue, and sew the actual buttons on. But you can see my little buttons. Anyway, so I don't know if Susan got her button. No, Susan probably didn't get her buttons. Cheryl got her buttons, but I don't think Susan has gotten hers yet. It'll take a few more days. But, I did order my cutting gloves. They're supposed to be in this coming week, and then I'm going to take the left-handed one and send it to Miss Nadine. So, but they are coming in. I went ahead and ordered it because I almost cut myself again the other day. I said, time for safe gloves. And these, they're so comfortable to use, you kind of forget they're scissors. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I have some good news. Is anyone else making or thinking they're going to make, besides Cheryl and Susan, is there anybody else thinking of making one of these table covers? Anybody out there who thinks they're going to make one of these? Anybody? Yeah, PPE for quilters. Oh, that's great. Pat is here. Yay, Pat is here. Susie Blake might make them. Okay, she was the first person I see that said something. Well, guess what? I've got some buttons left over. And hopefully there's 36. I'll have to count them. Susie Blake, don't put it here. But if you send me an email at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com. I will mail these to you. So I got better and better. I feel kind of bad in a way because I got better and better at making them as I did. Because 36, this will be 36 times 4 or 37 times 4 because I put an extra button in. So by the time you make that many tiny little polymer clay buttons, you get there. So I will show you one of my little babies. And hold on, they are so tiny. Now one side is prettier than the other because when you put the glaze on them. But see these cute little buttons? And see the little holes in them? So I made these all by hand and then baked them and then glazed them. So Susie, I will be sending you these buttons. So, and you'll sew them on and that'll be good. But I had no idea I had made that many. And, but you see what you do is you put them at the ends of the little flowers in this. So, and I've got to tell you, I'm not a patient person. And I realized that everything had to have the buttonhole stitch around it. And so I went to my sewing machine and I looked at all these flowers. Each flower has 5 heart petals on it. And I knew I didn't want to do this by hand. And so I knew I was going to have to do it by machine. I was trying to look for a better one to show you, but there's not really. When you're doing a buttonhole stitch, you should stay near the edge of the applique you're doing. And I just realized now I'm going to hand applique down the yellow centers, and I forgot that. So it's not quite done. But I thought, I do not want to do even machine buttonhole on 25 flower petals plus, what is this, 3 by 4, 12 hearts, plus all of these hearts. I was like, this is torture. And it's an absolute beautiful thing, and I will treasure that I've got it. But I had to do all this handwork with the chain stitch and then all these French knots. And I'm not a fan of French knots. I'm not very good at it. And I had to do all these French knots. I was like, you know what? Joe Morey, who did the beautifully designed and made her quilt. Let me tell you what. My hat is off to Joe Morey because I'm hoping I turn this thing off. Whew, it got all of a sudden. I got all hot and bothered by thinking back at how much machine buttonhole stitching I had to do. And it was like, this is awful. And so I tried to put something on, good on Netflix. But this was a lot of work. And I said, that's why I do art quilts. But thank you, Joe Morey and McCall's Magazine for this wonderful pattern. And if you want to get this pattern, you have to buy the January, February McCall's Magazine, or you can go to the McCall site and you can buy it digitally so you can get it downloaded right away. But I wanted to thank them. It's a lovely pattern, and I will treasure it. And I think the hearts around the outside are just so cute. And I don't know if it's because of the material I used or the way I sewed them down, but when you lay it down, the hearts are kind of ruffled. They kind of go like this, and I love it. And but I doubled my hearts up because I made this out of a linen background and all cotton fabrics. I didn't have the wool to do it out of wool. You wouldn't have to double up. And I even put batting in between the cotton hearts to give them a little body. So, yeah, I went to a little extra work, but it was a great way to use a piece of antique linen. You see that beautiful 100-some-year-old linen? It was a nice way to use an antique piece of linen. And now it'll sit on my table for the next couple more weeks. And instead of having this antique linen in a cardboard box, which is not a good place for it. So I'm very happy with this. I'm very tickled. And I'm trying to think of where to put it, but I'll just set it right there for right now. All right. So I am very happy to see you. We are really enjoying our Thursday landscape quilt. And I had something really interesting. Darn it, I put it over here. I'll be right back. Let me go grab it, okay? Hold on a second. I'm right over here. Okay. Here it is. An interesting thing happened to this while I was working on it, and I like it. And I'm trying to think of how I can keep it. All right. See my tree line? See how I did the uneven cuts in the fabric to give that tree line some authenticity? Well, the little tree edges, can you see them? They're curling. They're curling, which means it gives it a little bit of a 3D effect. And I like it. So I'm thinking of doing my invisible sewing right below it. Let them curl a little bit to give, oh, thank you. Boy, that's Nikki. She's Eagle Eye. We're going to call her Hawkeye or Eagle Eye. But anyway, I love that she always sees that stuff. But do you see my tree line and how it's kind of 3D? I'm going to leave that. I like it. It does look like a Bob Ross, doesn't it? Yes, I used to watch him. Oh, I loved Bob Ross. I used to love it when he'd have a squirrel in his little baby squirrel in his pocket because he helped, do animal rescue. And I loved that. So, all right. So anyway, I thought I would share that with you. And we're really getting a kick out of doing our landscape. We invite you to join us on the Thursday nights. We're taking it slowly, step by step. No rush. Relax and enjoy. And don't feel intimidated. Don't feel like you've got a deadline, all of that. Then it does look like windblown tops. That's perfect, Miss Linda. That's perfect. I want y'all to give me just think a little bit, think good thoughts of me this Friday. I'm going to go have x-rays and CT scan. And it is the normal, after you've had cancer, you have to have a 3-month checkup just to see how things are going, especially after surgery. They want to make sure they didn't miss anything. And it's gotten me a little nervous, but I know it's going to be okay. And nowadays, treatments are so good. So just kind of think of me, and I won't find out until the next week. But I've got to do it. I can't put my head in the sand because being an ostrich is not the way to stay healthy. So anyway, all right. Now I showed you the table runner. I'm still working on trying the OBS. My son gave me some advice, but it didn't seem to work. I am not good at that stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not good at that stuff. So I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to keep trying. He's got 2 little children under 2. He doesn't have any spare time. What is spare time to a new parent? So anyway, but we'll see. Oh, thank you, Miss Laura. Thank you, Miss Nikki. So, oh, look at Susan. She's amazing. Everybody deserves a Susan. And if we could only be so lucky to have our own Susan. So I'll tell you the truth. But anyway, you love the quilt on the table. Yes, that is my butterfly quilt. I'll hang that up on the movable design wall for next week and show you. I made that a year ago at Myrtle Beach Quilt Party, and I do love it. And we're going to talk more about projects like that in a little bit, okay? I always try to give you some interesting things to look at in the background so you don't just have to look at me. In fact, I've got to tell you this. This is so funny. I'm sorry about Rick does not like to share. I realized, now I look back at my first ever video I put out. Back then I would make videos to put out, and my goal was to put one out every week. And I'm so much happier. It was kind of funny to look at because I was new to all of this, and I just came up with this, and Mark was like, "You want to do what?" It's like, "Yeah, I want to teach on YouTube." And so for Christmas that year, I'd asked for a camera and stuff. And he's like, "What?" So I tried to be very proper and tried to speak halfway decent English and to be calm and all of that. And it's so cute to look at because that's not who I am. This is who I am. But I was trying to put on a good face. Hello, Flutter Bear, cold, rainy North Carolina. That's us. I'm in North Carolina myself. So anyway, but my first posting of my first ever video was February 16th, 2018. So in 2 more days, it'll be our third anniversary. And we want to thank Nadine for our anniversary quilt. She gave that to me for our first anniversary in 2019. So look at where we've come. Ah, I've got it. Wait, Marcia collects bears also. Oh, that's wonderful. And Marcia, you and Diana Wright are going to get a package from me. I better do it this week or else because I keep forgetting to just prepare it to get it ready to mail. But I promise I will get that done. So anyway, happy third anniversary for Our Time to Quilt. And, I didn't know exactly where I was going to go, what I was going to do, but it just kind of developed. It's just, especially going on live. And Miss Bonnie, are you still here? I hope she is. When I first went live, I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what I was doing. And Miss Bonnie, she played the role that Susan plays now in so many ways, except unofficially. And she kind of helped keep me focused and she encouraged me. So I want to thank Miss Bonnie because there she is. She deserves so much credit for the fact that 3 years later, we're still going. She gave me all that support at first, and I needed it because I was a deer in the headlights. And I knew what I wanted to do, but how to get there was a little confusing. So please know, each one of you add so much to what we're trying to do here and what we're trying to create. And I can't thank you enough. In fact, I was talking I don't know what I would have done during this whole last year of pandemic without you. So, thank you, Miss Bonnie. But I don't know what I would have done. I am been isolated for so long. And I wanted to say something about that. Somebody the other day said, aren't we lucky? Because as quilters and crafters, now we're forced to stay home and do what we love. And I said, okay, that does make sense. Somehow, though, when you have to do it, it can feel a little, claustrophobic, you get a little panicky sometimes, but I want to go out. No, you can't go out. So I think, it's almost a year. We're making it. I keep counting. Hello, Kathleen Champ. Hi, sweetie. So good to see everybody. I love all these people. This is wonderful. So good to see you. So anyway, in one of the other weeks, we had 38 people on at the same time. Is that so cool? So anyway, yeah, that's the thing that the pandemic has forced us to slow down and find alternative ways. I don't know what I would have done without Alex Anderson. What a blessing. And you know what? She's a couple months older than me, and she just got her vaccination. And I'm like, oh, come on. I got to hurry up and get 65 so I can get my vaccination. It's probably the only time from now on that I'll have wished I was older. All right, guys. All right, so we have a show to do. I better stop talking so we can see what we've got. I've got a couple things to show you. Like, how can you practice what you might want to put on a quilt? Because we've talked about that lately. And there's a new book coming out. Now I've forgotten the name of the author. But I know on Bear Creek Quilting, I believe, they've been promoting it. And it's due out this month in February. And it's like 99 quilting designs. And I'm a big believer in having a visual book. So when you sit down and try to figure out how are you going to quilt this wonderful quilt you've just made, how do you do that? So I believe in having a book so that you can get some ideas and practice. So I have a really neat trick for how I like to set my design up. Because, I don't like marking on the quilt until I know that's what I want. And I don't just like sewing and hoping it works out. Have any of you, raise your hands if any of you have ever had to rip out machine quilting on a quilt? It's not fun. I mean, it takes twice as long as what it took to sew it on or more. And, you're not moving forward. Hi, Miss Cheryl Livin. So anyway, then, I've been doing a lot of thinking. That's the pandemic has given us so much time to think about our lives, where we're going, and how to reorganize. And Sonia has, yes, 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 yes. What did Pat say? So I love it. So, it's just no fun. Long arm stitches, I know, because you get kind of carried away and do extra stitches, or I stitch kind of small and long arm, and then, oh my goodness. So, no hand risen since I don't like the machine quilt. I love that. Look at Susan. It's like, me. I love it. So, I've been doing a lot of thinking. And one thing I'm as I get older, I have a harder time keeping all the things in my head that I want to do. And so sometimes, especially on Monday morning, I'm like, what should I do this week? What quilt should I work on? Now, if I stop and think of all the quilts I have to do, oh my gosh, there's so many. And one problem with doing this show is I try to start a lot of new projects just in case there's something that I think, oh, this is cool. They might like this. Well, the problem is I do more and more things, but get less and less finished. And that's why lately it's really important for me to finish. I don't know if y'all remember a year ago when I did a batik of a tiger, and he is looking amazing. I don't mean to be rude and compliment myself, but oh my gosh, I was like, that was in me? How in the world did I make that tiger? Well, I want to finish him. And I was looking at Mancuso's quilt schedules, and I think I want to enter him. Well, I've got to finish him, I'm so excited. I ordered some filaine threads. Filaine threads are made by the Gunold, or you can also get them more easily. You might recognize sulky threads. And these are acrylic threads. And listen to this, Miss Susan. Listen, if some of you like the look of wool, but you're allergic to wool, then you want sulky filaine, Filaine, filaine thread, because it's a 12 weight, which is nice and thick. And and when thread, if it's a 60 weight, it's real thin. If it's 12 weight, it's very thick. And the coolest thing about it is you have to use a big top stitch needle to sew it. But after you've sewn it, done your thread painting, you take a wire brush. Some people try to use toothbrushes, but they're too soft. Take a wire brush and you can make it what they call bloom, where you can make it look like nice, soft fur. So I put an order in. I talked to Mark and I said, I really want to work on that tiger. Oh, sorry for the buffering. Lately, I tell you, it must be a lot of people on the internet now. But look at Susan. Oh, Susan, you are just amazing. Amazing. If Susan ever got mad at me and left here, I'd have to shut down. I couldn't do it without her. I don't want to think about that. That gets me emotional. So, but anyway, but you can take and do your thread painting and then brush it and you can get wire brushes they look like a toothbrush, but they're, sometimes copper, sometimes brass, sometimes steel bristles, and you just lightly brush it and it'll look like real fur. So I ordered 6 spools of that, and I think, did I order a wire brush? If I didn't order, I don't think I ordered a wire brush, but I found that I can get them at the hardware store. So I will be getting a wire brush. So hopefully when those come in, I'm going to give you a demonstration of it. But, and you know, who is our member? We have a new member who does animal portraiture, Dolores. I bet you she already knows all about it. So it's really cool. It's been around a while, but it's been very popular like the last year. So, okay. Okay. So anyway, I will keep. Oh, and I have something new. I have been ever since I saw Miss Jenny. This is Jenny from Missouri Star Quilts. She had one of these on, and it was like 2 years ago that I saw. Oh, and Bonnie, but about 2 years ago, I saw Jenny Doan from Missouri Star Quilts, and she had one of these on. And at the time, I saw the price of it and thought, oh, that's a little high for a Deb. Well, then about the 1st of February, and I think they're still on sale, they were marked down to $6.99 from like 14 or some of them are 19, you know. But let me show you what it is. I am just thrilled with this. It's a tape measure bracelet, and I love the way it's made. It's got a domed resin top, so it kind of like it like amplifies. But I love it. It's very comfortable. I thought at first, can I get it past my big old hands? But my right hand, it fits perfectly on. And I love this. So I got this for $6.99 and shipping. So anyway, I thought I'd show you. That was so exciting. Who said good afternoon? Jeannie's here. Hello, sweetheart. But isn't that awesome? They come in black, white, and bright yellow. You know that tape measure. I don't know if I have a tape measure. Yes, I do. They also come in tape measure yellow. So black, white, aqua, and tape measure yellow. And they come in the thin design like this or one that's a little chunkier. So I'm tickled. I put it on. I got it in the mail yesterday. I put it on. I didn't take it off all day. I was so happy with it. I told Mark, I said, I don't need diamonds and stuff. Give me a $6.99 tape measure bracelet, and I feel like there's heaven right there. So, all right. So now I showed you that. I've got a couple little things that have come in that I want to show you. And February 26th is my Mancuso online class because I do the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Show is virtual, and I'm taking a virtual class, and I'm so excited. So, all right. What do we want to do first? Well, I'll go ahead, and since Miss Nikki saw it from a distance, what is this? Okay. Aw, thanks. That is so sweet. He'll appreciate that, especially because we squabbled a little this morning. I had a hard time getting into the site. And he's like, what have you done to it? I haven't done anything to this computer. We're together 24/7. So every once in a while, we get on each other's last nerve. But I tell you what, if we only squabble here and there, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And he made blueberry muffins this morning. So shame on me. Oh, and you know what we're doing for dinner? I don't know if y'all have any fun hobbies or traditions for holidays. Every Thanksgiving, I make a heart-shaped meatloaf because I can put a lot of ketchup on top and red, nice, pretty red heart, making a heart-shaped meatloaf. And then I make homemade mashed potatoes, and I put a little red food coloring and turn them pink. So that's what we're having for Valentine's Day. And you know what? If I were to ask, at least one of my children's doing the same thing. So I love it. But this, I didn't realize, but I picked out this heart fabric, and it sure is pretty. what I've done is, like I've been telling you, I start the beginning of the week and I go, oh gosh, I don't know what to do. Hi, Vicky Robles. I don't know what to do. What project should I work on? Whatever. And I got thinking about it. This was just an old binder. And this morning I wrapped it in fabric. And I had a can of spray adhesive. It wouldn't work. So I ended up using good old tacky glue. Gotta love Aleene's tacky glue. But I wanted to cover it so I would know this is my quilt binder. I've been having a hard time. I've got so many UFOs, and I'm going to count them. But do me a favor, when I tell you how many I have, don't make fun of me because I noticed when I was looking around for quilt organization, this one woman had over 100 UFOs, and one of the people kind of made a snarky comment. And I thought, I don't like that. So you just got to promise no snarky comments. So, because when I do tell you how much, you might be a little surprised. So, but Deb, I'm a squirrel girl, which means I get easily distracted and. So what I did is I went online and I looked and I looked and I looked. And I will share where I got these with you. I'll put it down in the information after the show. But I spent over an hour online looking for free sources, because you know me, I'm cheap, free sources for organization. And so here, this one is just a my week. And I think I'm going to keep this because you know what? I kind of get lost sometimes. I wish I was more like Miss Bonnie. Miss Bonnie is so organized and so directed. And she she worked at a college for 30 years. That you have to know what you're doing to keep all that stuff straight. I don't have that same experience. So I have a hard time kind of staying focused. Plus, it's just part of me. But this is my week, and I can set up the days, what I want to do, the weekly goals, daily tasks, things like that. Then I'm going to have to do this. I have dragged my feet doing this, but I'm going to have to write a sheet of all the projects, the UFOs I have, because I realized each year I'm only getting more, not less. And let's be honest, we're not getting any younger. I told myself the other day, I said, Deb, you're not a kid anymore. You're not guaranteed 30 years. So you better start what is important to me, I better get done. If my last day comes and I haven't done my moon glow quilt, I am going to pitch a fit. So I am going to, and it's going to take pages like this for me to record. And this one says, in the works. And it can tell you all the different things, like you can label, what does it still need? Because remember, a UFO means that flimsy you haven't quilted yet, or that quilt you haven't bound yet. So I'm going to go ahead and write it down. And it's not to make myself feel badly. It's not at all. I tend to forget what things I have out there and what things really mean a lot to me to get done. So, in fact, I have a tub over here of UFOs, and I'm going to show you some. So then I looked online and found sheets that say, this one is a my quilt. So every quilt I work on, I can put a picture of what it's supposed to look like. I can put swatches over here, and then I can write what size I was thinking about, what day I started, what day I finished, my thoughts, what was going on in my life. I have wanted to do a quilt journal for so long. I have wanted to do a photo album of my quilts. I'd like to record what I've gotten done. I've tried to remember to take pictures. I'll have to see what I can come up with. But I think that I'm going to end up turning this also into a photo album, because it'd be nice to look back over what I've done and see how far I've come. So is there somebody new? Miss Maisie? So anyway, but I've got a bunch of these, and I've got different kinds. on here. Then I was sitting there thinking, you hear me all the time talking about I'd love to sell crafts because I love making crafts. Well, I can't keep it all in my head anymore. So I sat down and did a list of crafts that I love making and I would like to sell because I keep saying I'm going to get on Etsy one day. So here I've got that written down. So I don't have to keep it in my head. I turn to this page, boom, and then I can keep track of it. Now, I loved this when I saw it. This is a page of successes because that's important. I don't want to shame myself. I don't want to make myself feel bad. This is all to help me be more efficient and to make myself feel like I have a sense of accomplishment. Now, I've got this page and it says challenges. I'm going to change that page to goals. Because you know how I said this year I want to really focus on embellishing? Well, I want to look at the challenges. If it's going to be, how do I want to challenge myself as a quilter? That, to me, sounds like a great idea. So, and then that means that the success page becomes even more important. Because as women, we're too quick to put ourselves down or count our mistakes. And I want to refocus that to what things do I want to accomplish that make me excited? And then what successes do I have? Because honestly, we have so many successes, we aren't even aware of them because that's not how we're trained to look at things. We're trained to see the mistakes, And my mother used to say, it's not my job to tell you what you did right. It's my job to tell you what you do wrong. That's not good. That is not good. If you find yourself doing that, please stop. Because honestly, I love it. Years ago, I used to watch Dr. Phil, and he would say, a pound of praise for every ounce of criticism. And that's the truth. That's how you get people to feel good. Hi, Kathleen Champ, walk in. But that's how you get people to feel good, and that's how you make friends and keep people loving you. But it's a pound of praise for 1 ounce of correction, and I believe it. Maisie, come here. Come here. Come here. I wanted little Maisie to come see you. She's over. See her on the floor? Right there with Black. Come here, good girl. She's a little shy. She doesn't know what I want. I've been doing things like trimming her nails and cutting her hair and giving her a bath. And oh my gosh, she didn't know I was going to do all that stuff. So anyway, come here. Come here, silly girl. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, well. So anyway, but I like the idea of successes page. So, and then there's all kinds. When you look out there, there's all kinds. There's this page I saw really pretty called Project Title. So, and then there are even more I have back here because I printed out different kinds thinking, well, I'll try them and see which one I like best. So now I'm hoping this will help me organize, okay? And by telling you, it means I have to do it. So that's the good thing, I need to say to y'all, I need to exercise every day because maybe that'll help me really stick to it this time. So, okay, what I'd like to do now, in fact, I brought this over because this is one of the projects I'd like to get finished. I love that we made a COVID quilt together, and I'd like to finish it before we're out of our COVID isolation and enjoy it. So that's one of the things I'll put on my and I'm probably just going to put a list of a few UFOs a day. I'm not going to overwhelm myself with all of them at once. But all right, so now what I'm going to do is show you this tote. Now I have unfinished objects all over the house. One behind the couch. I have them upstairs in my frame room. I have them all over. But these are my most recent And they're wonderful projects. This is a project that I first saw with Angela Walters on Craftsy, which is now back. It went to Blueprint, then it came back, and I still haven't finished this. So let me see. I was hoping I could find the name. Color Crystals. And this, I have yet to ever make a bed quilt. Ever. So this, I saw it and fell in love with it. I didn't know there was going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of half square triangles. I look at something and I go, oh, pretty. But I don't look up close and go, oh my gosh. But I have done all the cutting and I've done a lot of the sewing. I mean, look at this. Am I on the ball or what? But I haven't finished it. So everything is cut up and prepackaged, and I have started making a lot of the blocks, but I haven't worked on this in almost 2 years. And my bedroom is blue, and I wanted it to look like, have ocean colors in it, but still look a little old-fashioned. I need to get this done. I'm putting this on a list and not just keeping it in a big tub, then I'm more likely to get it done. All right, whoops, better put the instructions back in it. I'm a big believer in whatever, whether you want to keep them in containers or these overstuffed bags, keep the project together. Keep the pattern right with it. Keep everything you need for that right together. And because if you don't, you will lose it, and then you've got all this stuff cut out and you don't know how to finish it. Or what it even was. I've got some quilts and I go, I did that? I don't even know. So, okay. I even kept the tag off of the fabric in case I needed to get more. All right. But the one problem with that is if you don't finish it in a couple of years, they probably don't make that fabric anymore. Here is... Oh, I think I know what this is. Oh, Miss Bonnie, this is my LaFleur. So, and see, I didn't know where this was. Here is all of my fabric for the LaFleur quilt that I've been working on. Wow, that's a lot of fabric. Okay, I even found some bags this big. And this is the Johnson & Johnson Ziploc, and they're huge. I got them for Christmas 2 years ago. All right, let's see what else I have. Oh, I think this, I put together this, and I think it was for this was for an Angela Walters free motion quilting session 3 years ago. And here it is. And it's all put together, just waiting for me to go and sit down and work, watch her video and do it. So there's that. This was a block of the month I did at a local sewing shop. I know, Susan, you know when I started my LaFleur, how many years ago? And it was called Rapid Fire Lemoyne Star. I don't know where are my blocks. I must have, oh, here they are. I went to the shop, and I did this for a while, and then I kind of lost interest and gave up. But I have a whole bunch of blocks just sitting here. Come on, Deb. Let me see if I can show you them. But look at all these blocks. And what this is, they're all done with some variation of the Lemoyne Star block. So, and it was using the Tucker, is it called the Tucker trimmer? Deb Tucker makes really great rulers to help you. Because my earliest Lemoyne Star block, which is an 8-pointed star, looked like baseball caps. So it is worth it. And I think that every month I would have to come in. I would get a free little piece of fabric, but I would buy the majority myself or use what was in my stash. And so we'd get a little piece of paper and go to finish it. And so I even have, here is the Rapid Fire Lemoyne Star ruler that we bought for the class. Wow. Okay. So here's another project that's most of the way there. I just need to finish it. All right. It's not like some of these blocks are going to be so hard. Oh, this was a 2018 So Original Block of the Month. Oh my goodness. Same store, another block of the month. I thought, it might be fun. Sue Smith is here. Hey, Sue Smith. We have a Susan Smith, a Sue Smith, and a Susie Blake. Isn't that cool? We have plenty of Susies now. But here is this, okay? And what I do is I just take a piece of cardboard, like out of a calendar or something, and I pin them to it. There's this one. Whoops, come on. There's this. There's this. This would be a great grandchild's quilt or something. All right, so that's that one. And let me see real quick. So it's like shame on, oh, this was another. This also was a Deb Tucker. Shaded 4-patch, you get these. We would buy the laminated project sheets. So I never finished this one either. So I get started sometimes and then kind of go, So, and you know what I'm going to do? When I go through, and I've told you this before, when I go through these projects and actually put them on a UFO page, the first question I'm going to ask myself, do I like that still? And if I don't, I tell you what I'm going to do. If it just is not my thing anymore, I'm going to come on here and offer it to you. Okay? Because I have learned that if it doesn't work for you anymore, it might be somebody else's cup of tea. And let somebody hand it over to someone else and just say, well, I learned whatever I was supposed to learn from it. Now it's someone else's chance to have fun. Oh, gosh. This might get... And this is, honey, this is one tote. I've got a closet full of stuff. So, but I'm not going to show you everything today. That would, you'd end up taking a nap. But some of these things, I know what this is. Look at this. Look at this. Why didn't I finish this? I love this. And it's a Bargello style, but on a swirl. Why haven't I finished this? That is gorgeous. And I've got all the fabrics here for it. And then, I think I designed this one on my own. I don't know. Oops. I'm a little worried I don't see real instructions for this one. And then here is this gorgeous template, but I don't remember this. I have a feeling that got put in a little differently. But I'm going to finish this because this is gorgeous. I have a feeling it's supposed to be a big Bargello circle, and then I'll put it like in a black border, you know, make sure it's rectangular. So there is a beautiful one. Oh my goodness, what is this one? I have no idea what this is. I do not even know. It might be a bag of fabric I was using for one of the blocks of the month. Then here was a blanket I was going to make for my granddaughter, who's now 16. She might have outgrown this. I wonder how many years ago I printed this. I even designed it myself in EQ7. So that tells you it was a while. So this is going to be put up on a priority list. Goodness. Oh, I think I remember this. I think this is back when I was just really enamored with solids. But I think I need to finish this one. Oh, pretty. At least I have a picture of what it should look like. Oh, it's a broken star, a broken wheel, I think they call it, broken carpenter's wheel. Ouch. Ow. I hit my not so funny bone on the sewing machine. All right. So, as you can see, I'm not even remembering a lot of these. So, this is one of my Jenny Beyer kits that I probably finished most of the way, just didn't quite do all of the way. This one here. Oh, this is a sweet one. And I definitely want to finish this. This is something I worked on. I took a class at Myrtle Beach Quilt Party. And I like that one. I want to finish that one. So, all right. There's only two more things in this block, and this tote. Oh, I remember this. Okay. This is a binding tool star. Now, I'm going to have to stand up and show you this one. I don't want to fall backwards over all this stuff on the floor. My most successful quilt to date is this one I made for my daughter. And it is from the Binding Tool Star Quilt. So, I hope you can see this good. And I need to finish this because this is a lovely one too. And actually, I would like to do some applique around the border or do piano key borders on it, whichever one. But I have done, this is 3 binding tool stars that I've started, and only one of them have I finished. Then the last one, let me put some of these back. They're starting to grow. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, my reputation is for starting quilts, not finishing them. This last little one was a quilt that I was making for my grandson, who is now 13. And I just have a feeling it's going to be a little young for him. It was to look like the old Dick and Jane book style era. So I probably started back on this 2011, 2012. No, later than that, maybe 2014. It's time to get this done. All right. Because honestly, they love homemade quilts. He would use this. He wouldn't show his friends, but he would still use this. So it is time to get this done and let him know how much I love him. It's not showing any love in this plastic bag. So this is just one tote. This is just a small fraction of the things I have to finish. And I definitely want to get this done so that I can enjoy the quilts and not have them weigh me down, be obligations. So anyway, let me see what y'all are saying. So, oh goodness gracious. Yeah, I know. You know what? That's a good point, Kathleen. Most of these things are already cut and just ready to finish putting together. So, let's say I have 50 UFOs. Take one a week. That's all it'll take. It's not, I don't have to change the world. Is Michelle Lang here? I love my Michelle Lang. All right. So I printed out a page from the AQS, American Quilt Society, and it says, working on multiple quilting projects, try these tips to keep them in order. Count them one by one. Take a look around your creative space and make a list of all the projects that are in the works. A second list may be needed for projects with purchased fabrics but haven't been started. I got a bunch of those too. Then prioritize in the works list. So then make a schedule. Grab a calendar and begin with the highest priority project. Schedule that project. Then try to be realistic with the time needed to complete the project. I'm terrible at that. Oh, I can get this done in 2 weeks, and then a month later. Very important, assign a due date. Make it a red letter day on the calendar. That's a very good point. If you don't give it a date, it just kind of becomes amorphous. Give it a date. Continue scheduling the remaining projects in order of priority. Good point. Then sprinkle work days with creative energizers. This is what's really got my attention, because when I hear people say, I'm going to finish everything I've started before I start anything new, I kind of just, I tune them out. Well, stick to the schedule, but remember the joy. From time to time, take a few minutes to rejuvenate your creative spirit. Take breaks and be sure to do something different for the break, like take a walk. Invite a friend. Well, can't do this yet. Invite a friend over to visit with you while you work. They might even iron for you. I don't think I have any friends that good. Take your sewing machine to a new location. I like that. When the spring comes, I'm going to move my sewing machine out to the deck for the day and just listen to the birds and enjoy the warm air. Or I might set up the RV and go out there and sew for the day, just a change of scenery. When your favorite song comes on, stop and dance. I love that. And then, for me, I enjoy my crafting projects. I'll save those for the evening. So I'll tell myself, work on these projects during the day, and in the evening I can do my glass ornaments or my egg ornaments or paper beads or whatever. Organize projects by stages. Break the project in stages and plan out each stage. Overlap projects so they're at varying stages and create a guide for each project. I think creating a guide for each project is so important, because if you don't record it, you won't remember what you're supposed to do and you won't do it in an efficient manner. And I've got to be honest, at some point we're going to downsize. I don't want to have to throw stuff away. And so I'd rather give it to a new owner to finish and love it, or get it done and then find people I love to give these finished items to. And what am I waiting for to do some of my treasured Jenny Buyer? If I had done the moon glow already, I'd be loving it every day. So that's my big realization for this week. And I hope you will find a few. Oh, good job. See, Bonnie knew. She broke down the steps. She would look at it. Instead of saying, I've got to finish this whole quilt, maybe I can do all the half square triangles. Maybe I can assemble a couple of the blocks. Break it down into steps that make it easier. It's the old, how do you eat a whale? One bite at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Break it down into bits. And the other thing I read, keep your room clean, because if your room is messy, it just stops your creativity. It stops your will of wanting to get in there and work. And so that's one of the things too. Is this part of the room? It's okay. But I had just cleaned off the counter over there, the 8-foot long counter. Well, guess what? It's covered with stuff again. So now I'm going to take just a moment real quick and show you. I think I'll use these blocks as my example. And then after I show you this, then we're going to look at your photos and see some beautiful, beautiful work. Okay, let me pull you over here. I'm going to use this block. We're going to pretend I'm ready to quilt this block. Well, what do I want to quilt on it? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have this vinyl. Now, some people take a saran wrap kind of stuff and put on it. Whatever you're sure you won't accidentally punch through and mark up your beautiful quilt. But what I'm going to do, this is why I was trying to iron this before I came on. I'm using a dry erase marker, very, very inexpensive, easy to find. And okay, I will say I'm going to come in here and do this on this block, okay? But then I say, well, what if I do this on the block? And then what if I decide I don't like either of those, so I can erase it off? Just keep a dry rag handy. Now, what if I come in here and let's say, what if I do a feather design like this? Okay? Yes. And what if I do a feather design this? Well, this is kind of a loop. But, I could come in and do this and this. What if I do that? So, by doing this way, you get a chance to look at your block and decide what is something interesting that you could do that is just a little bit different. And you've got to remember, what is it going to be like to actually do the sewing? Can you come in with all of the lines accurately? But anyway, do you see my point is, and usually, you could come in and you could kind of do a flower. You could do loops and hearts. You can do anything, but this way you get a chance to look at it and say, what would this be? You know, maybe you just want to do a little do a meandering. So, you know, if in doubt, get yourself a nice piece of vinyl, thick enough that you won't go through. You can get these at fabric stores. Maybe you've got a vinyl package, something came in, and but you know, you could do stones, you could do blocks. But just try when you're designing it, try to remember that you want to do continuous stitching. Okay? But this is just to show you it's one of the best tricks. Then what I do usually, you can do it right here or you can go to your white erase board, your design board, and I will practice the technique over and over until my muscle memory is built up. I will just practice and practice and practice because the more I do, then when I actually start to do it on the machine, your muscles know what you want them to do. All right. And I just, so far as what I got this week, I just got some tacky glue for the project when I work on my Mancuso quilt. And then I saw these. I needed something as a little filler for an Amazon order. And I saw these, and these are meant for like fondants for cake decorating, but I'm going to use these for my polymer clay. One of the things about the hearts is I had to make those little tiny hearts by hand. And here is a fondant heart thing, and you push, and it pushes the object out. I got all of these shapes and stamps for $6 and something. Isn't that cool? All right. So now what I want to do is turn off the excess lights and show you your wonderful pictures. Okay, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way because I have not learned a new way yet that I feel comfortable with. All right. Okay. And I'm hoping that I'm going to still learn a better plan. But until I do, please be patient. I love showing your photos, and that's more important to me than anything. So, all right, let's go up to Bees and see what she's got. Oh, she showed us a snow in England. I think this is absolutely beautiful. And look at her garden, little garden shed out there. Isn't that beautiful? So that's on the east coast of England, southeast. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Miss B, for sending that. Then, was this? Okay, I guess I haven't gotten her new one. So I've been showing this to my landscape quilters on Thursdays because it's so wonderful to see other people's work. All right, let me go back and bring up Miss Betty's because she gave me some emotional support. She gave me some emotional support for the class I've got coming up. I'm going to be doing a collage animal, a cow. So I am so excited. And thank you, Miss Betty Middleton, for sharing this. I just love it. I think he's gorgeous. The way to go. Is Inger here? Hi, Inger. Wonderful seeing her. And here we go. Look at this. Now, these are Miss Bonnie's. She has been a busy girl. Let me enlarge this a little. There. Oh, isn't that pretty? I told her that fabric, that is just gorgeous. Way to go. Beautiful. All right, let me go to her next one. This is her first UFO. She has been inspiring me because she has been getting her quilts done, and I admire that. So thank you, Miss Bonnie, for inspiring me. Once again, she inspires me. Isn't that awesome? And I love how she has the project card. So she knows exactly what she's doing. And before she made it, she had the swatches on it. Let me see if I can get this. Look at this. Isn't that awesome? I've never seen that block before. Don't forget, on the third Saturday of every month, they are doing a Farmer's Wife quilt. And these are blocks from the Farmer's Wife quilt. Oops. Oops, let me see. And look at this. Isn't that cute? Love it, love it. All right. Here's another block from the Farmer's Wife. Wonderful. Okay. Here's another one. And this is a cross-stitch quilt block, like a red work block that she's going to be working on coming up. Love it. Then look at this. Now, I am in awe. I have a plastic bag full of tangled DNC floss. But look what Miss Bonnie, every bit of floss she owns is wound onto a special card. And look at that. Isn't that? And it looks like she has the boxes numbered. So she can easily, if she needs a number 2543, she can easily find it. I'm in awe. I'm in awe. Way to go, Miss Bonnie. And one day when I grow up, that's what I want to be able to do. Then here is another project she is going to be working on. Beautiful. With her back acting up, she wants to do some cross stitch for a while. And look at this owl. That's another one of her projects she's going to be working on. That is gorgeous. Thank you, Miss Bonnie, for sharing those. Now let's see. Cheryl Lemon. And I want you to look at her gorgeous hearts for her Valentine's quilt. Look at how beautiful her blanket stitches are. Isn't that amazing? So that is how it should be done. Let me tell you, just beautiful. And then look at this gorgeous cross stitch she just finished. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, love it. Love it. Thank you, Miss Cheryl. Let me see what I have in here. Mark and I happen to be watching a show, and they showed these beautiful Texas bluebonnets. So we took a picture of the screen, and these I'm putting into my mountain meadow because I had decided to make bluebonnets the main flower that is going to be up close and personal in my mountain meadow quilt. And because Mark lived in Texas for 27 years and loved it, then I just wanted to show you, I got a little bit of ice, but it didn't stay long. And here, I got this from the news. Look at that beautiful ice. So, and then just to remind myself and everybody else, clean out your sewing machines. I am so embarrassed that my favorite sewing machine looked like that the other day. So it's just a reminder to me. Shame, shame, I know your name. Here's little Mace. Oh, I didn't know I put this in here. I had given her a bath, and she's got a flat head. And I think she's telling that I was so mean I gave her a bath. So, and then I found this picture on my daily screensaver from Microsoft Edge, and or I think Bing or something like that. And I took a picture of that because, oh my gosh, look at that musk ox. I guess that's a musk ox or a water buffalo or whatever. But that is so gorgeous with its baby. And I'm thinking if I get good at that filing thread, this guy's going to be in my future. Isn't that beautiful? Not this. And then this is another screensaver. And I said, oh, I want to do this one too. So anytime I get excited about starting a new project, I'm going to say maybe what I can do is just save all of these as ideas. And then when I get some stuff done, here is a Revolutionary War soldier that in this picture's from the news. Look what the ice storm did to him. So, but anyway, and then I have some pages. Oh, this is my daughter's new puppy. They're getting him on the 19th, and we don't know his name yet, but he's going to have a wonderful life. She's already been to see him about 6 times. Here is another view of the ice storm that was in the news yesterday. I think it's just amazing. All right, and then I have a few of these title pages. Okay, so now let's see who we're going to go check. Deborah Donnell. I love this, and this is another inspiration for the class I'm going to take. I have always wanted to do an animal with that collage method. We hope Deborah Donnell is feeling okay today. She's had a terrible time with her back and nerves and spine, and so we're thinking of her, honey. Here's Miss Dolores. This is the woman I was telling you about who probably knows about filing threads. She does animal portraits for commission. Here is her beautiful quilt that she did when she was ill for a time, and this really, working on this diligently, helped lift her out of it. And this one, Hoffman Challenge, 3rd place. Just beautiful. But look at that. Isn't that amazing? That dog looks like you could pet it. And here's a little pug that she did. So cute. And look at this. Isn't that a cute puppy? So she is very, very talented. And let's see. Who else do we have next? Diana Wright. I miss her, but I think her Sundays now she visits with her son. But look at this baby quilt she did for a customer. It is absolutely beautiful. I just look at the quilting on that. Let me make it a little larger so you can see it more easily. She is such a talented quilter. So let me bring this back down, go to the next photo. This is another round of her star. I love it. And I think we've even got another one too. Come on, let me enlarge this so you can see it. It's more of that baby quilt. I love the pattern she used. I love all of it. The fabric is just gorgeous. That is so delicate. Absolutely beautiful. Way to go, Miss Diana. Now go down. Another one of the baby quilt. And then she made a pillow to match. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Very delicate, wonderful taste, Miss Diana. And then she's been working on a Civil War era quilt. And then here is that star you saw earlier with even more borders on it. Love it. And here is a close-up of that baby quilt on the frame. Just beautiful. So it is so nice to see Miss Diana has been staying busy with her beautiful work. Then we're so excited about our Jamie. She has been chosen to work on, I should have read up about it. Jamie, you'll have to tell them. But she is working on a creative project. She's been chosen to do, I think, March, April, and May for a creative channel. I'm just so excited for her. She deserves that. Okay. And so she is going to be working on some plans for projects for a craft channel. And I'm sure she can give you the more details than I have right now. That in my poor little weak memory. Here's our Crystal we love so much, so talented. And I know that they had a wonderful Valentine's today. And look at this Valentine's window. Gosh, I just love it. Crystal has such a happy, creative life. Now let me see if I can turn this, because this is one of the projects. She has been collecting things. And I think this is a Wizard of Oz that she's been collecting to make a project for this group. So talented. Okay. Miss Jamie, we're really proud of you. We're very, very tickled. And keep showing us these photos and telling us what you're doing. We absolutely love it. And it's nice to see you get that credit because you are so talented. This is for one of our new members, Jeannie. Look at this wonderful mask she made for Carol. I think her name was Carol Ann at the local post office. And I think Carol had given her some old shirts and she turned them into masks. I love that. Way to go, Miss Jeannie. And Miss Jeannie is a little bit new to quilts, but I think she is going to be very talented and show us some great stuff. That is wonderful. Turning a shirt into a custom mask is a great. Here's Miss Carol in her mask. Isn't that nice? And to reach out and care about somebody is pretty special. And then here is a quilt that she made. And I love it. And I'm so glad she found her way to us. So welcome, Miss Jeannie. Thank you for sharing those photos. And then I've got to show you this. I think I'm in love with this quilt, Mr. Frankie. And I'm so excited. She's working on a bride for him, a bride of Frankenstein. But what? My gosh, Jody's so talented. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing to think that's out of scraps of fabric because it looks so real. All right. Then Miss Linda McCallum, look at things. She's been working on more of her wonderful textural hand art. She's included different, there's a stick in this one, all kinds of embroidery. I love that she includes found items in her work. Just gives it that little extra. And I love all of her stitching. That just brings it to life. Way to go. Here is a landscape quilt that she worked on. I love it. I love all the cragginess in it. Just beautiful. This is a fracture. It's a painting method on a piece of fabric. I have no idea how she does that. And then look at all of these wonderful, wonderful hand dyes. A lot of talent there, Miss Linda. Look at this landscape. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful work. Beautiful. Look at this one. You can practically hear those seagulls. Beautiful, beautiful. I love her sense of depth. She brought some grasses and things up here in front of things to give you that sense of depth. Way to go, Miss Linda. You are so talented, girlfriend. So very talented. Now let's see where we're going now. Miss Marcia sent a picture of her snowstorm. This is out her backyard. Isn't that? I just love it. I want snow like that. I promise you, if I get snow, I'm going to go out and play in it. I promise. And then I wanted to make sure to show everyone Miss Michelle's quilt. She finished, and that is our COVID community quilt that we made. Beautiful job, Miss Michelle. All right, let's see who we're going to now. Miss Nadine, I've got some pretty things to show. She finished her, come on, oh, I'm having a hard time making it get bigger. She finished her Winter Village Editor Sitar quilt. Beautiful. All right, let me make it smaller so I can go to the next one. Here's a part of it. Look at that beautiful applique work. Really makes it come to life. Here's another one. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Way to go, Miss Nadine. Then look at her snow. In Germany, they had some snow. Let me tell you, they don't mess around. Look at that snow. I love it. Let me enlarge this. I love that. And I love that snow can turn a backyard into a work of art. Beautiful. Okay, let me go to her next one. Here she is driving to work again. Look at that weather. You know, it's funny, in the South here, if you get snow like that, everybody stays home. But in Germany, that's just Thursday. And you can't really make this out, but this is a wild kitty that took up residence with them who loves the domestic life. And this is her poor finger after she had a run-in with a rotary cutter. And I'm going to send her a cut-resistant glove as soon as I get it in this week. So, and look at the sky. She loves taking pictures of nature. And let me tell you what, I have tucked a couple in some folders for one-day quilts, because they, you know, quilts that I hope to do one day, because they are beautiful, beautiful. All right. Oh, that wasn't even done. Here, look at this windowsill. She put her own snowflakes, but then look at the snow up on the window. Wow. I'm still putting in my request for snow. Hasn't been answered yet, but I'm hoping. Okay, yep, we saw that picture. So cute. All right, we'll move on. Look at this. And I love the way this was photographed. It's like a work of art. Look at that sun. I assume it's setting. And look how beautiful. On that beautiful porch her and her husband built a year ago, I believe. Just beautiful. So some of these I save in my idea folder because they're just so pretty. Look at that. Majestic and in a way slightly haunting. It's beautiful, but then is it quiet, a little too quiet and lonely? You're not sure. Beautiful. And this one's off of her happy porch. Look at that. Beautiful. I love how she takes these vignettes with this pottery, the birdhouse, and then you look out and see all of that snow. Beautiful. Very talented eye. Yep, she is an artist. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Miss Nadine. Those were wonderful photos. Okay, we only have a couple more left. Let's see that Sue Smith, this is one she sent in, but I've kept it because it's bright and happy and I love seeing it. Thank you, Miss Sue. And let me see, Patricia Fry. She has gotten a couple things done lately. Excellent job. Look at this wonderful Valentine's table runner. And I love this, so I kept it in the folder again this week. My friend writes songs about sewing machines. He's a singer-songwriter, or so it seems. That is so cute. Love it. Love the things she finds. Her and Cheryl find us lots of things to laugh about. All right, let me see. Okay. Miss Cheryl, now she's getting ready to teach a class, this wonderful quilt class, a quilt designed by Elizabeth Hartman called Aviatrix Medallion. And here is a quilt. She is made from ghoulish fabric. And that's the quilt she made. I love it. Love that. Okay. Let me see. Look at this beautiful quilt. Very talented lady. And look, there she is. This is the flyer from one of her 7 guilds that she is going to be teaching this class coming up. I love it. We have some well-known talented ladies here. And I just love it. Whoa, sorry about that. I didn't mean to close that all the way out. All right. I'm hoping you can still see me too. Let me see. Oh, Miss Susan. Miss Susan's been a busy gal, and I love all the stuff she's creating. You always know people are in a good place when they're doing a lot of creating. This is her LaFleur blocks. And then here is her farmer's wife. Don't forget, third Saturday, they do a farmer's wife sit and sew on Jitsi. And you just have to be a member of our group. Our group's IO. And you don't have to work on this project. You can bring a UFO to the sit and sew. It's just a fun way to sit and sew together. Oh, I put this in the wrong folder. Well, now Susan gets credit for it. Okay, let's see. And don't forget to visit the site Art by Vinalda. This woman is so talented. And she does paper art. And it's absolutely beautiful. It has so much in common with a quilter. Look at that. The same layering process, the same texturing, showing depth, shadow. And she's very busy right now for a show coming up in March. But you can find her on Facebook. And she has her own website, Art by Vinalda, Vonalda, Vinalda Utterback. Very talented woman. Love her work. Okay, I think that is it for us. Let me see. I think that's it. Okay. Thank you so much for coming to join us today. And I hope we saw that. I hope you were able to see all of it and it didn't act up on us today. And we reset the camera and the microphone trying to work it out. So, third Saturday on, good, thank you. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, it is wonderful to see all of you. Thank you so very much. Do you have any questions? Anything that you would like to say or share? Or questions you might have about a project you're working on? Anything you'd like to ask right now? Kathleen, I hope we see you again because I think we would enjoy you joining our group. And to join our group, especially now that I've mentioned your name, just send me an email at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com, and I'll be glad to send you an invitation. And we have a private group because this is part of our community, our family, and we can all get on there and talk and ask for help, questions, anything, share our grandkids and stories and all of that. So, thank you so much. And I want to say, Nadine's still with us. I just love our Nadine. And I just wanted to say, too, that you were all so wonderful to share this time with me. I'm honored. I think it does a lot more for me than I could ever do for all of you. So, but thank you. Keep up your creativity. Take good care of yourself. And we can't take care of others unless we take care of ourselves. So next week, you're going to hold me to it. You're going to keep me honest because next week when we come back together here, I want to show you how I have been filling out my binder of UFOs because I'm going to get some things done. And I think prioritizing is going to be very big for me. Very big. But thank you all. I know what I was going to tell you. So many of my art quilt patterns, I've been handing them out. I just sent one to France yesterday. I was so excited. I used the translator since she doesn't speak English, and she used a translator to ask for the pattern. But I have even sent a pattern to Turkey. So I am thrilled, and I love that you enjoy those. And I'm even starting to think and get excited about what's the next project. So, any questions anyone has? Anything I can do? Oh, we should go over the Happy Planner details on UFOs with Bonnie. Bonnie could teach us a lot. She sure could. There's a teacher in our Bonnie. I am so happy that we've had these new people coming in and sharing information. And please keep sending your photos. I'm looking for a better way to show them, but I love them. And we all are inspired by your work. We can all teach somebody something from what we do. You know, we all have our own ways of doing things, and we inspire each other. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? I love sales. Oh, Marcia, your yard would make a really good landscape. And the nicest thing is if you want a pattern of my landscape, just email me at the same email address. But nowadays they have batiks in whites and light grays. So you can do snow so much easier than ever before. Yep, we'll be happy to walk you through any of it. Anybody that needs to, Bonnie and Susan are very talented with this farmer's wife. And we love sharing. The more fun we share, the more fun we have. Oh, I hope Crystal saw the picture of herself. All right. Well, y'all are the best. And Laura wants to, send it. Now, is she asking about the art quilt Thursday or the farmer's wife? So that's wonderful. Yeah, and I have got to pop in there for it because everybody gets to talk. And I can sit and listen to y'all, and that would be wonderful. Have a great day. Stay safe this week with all the ice and snow and all of that. And I look forward to coming back here and seeing you next Sunday. All right? It's already halfway through February. How did this happen? Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? Yes. Fabric patch. Ooh, that is absolutely wonderful. I love it. And I order everything. I haven't been into a store in a year. So that's wonderful. Oh, yes. In fact, if you go to our groups.io or Our Time to Quilt group site, you can make your whole photo album if you want. Take good care. Miss Sonia, I'm still going to come see you one day, as soon as we can. Everybody take good care. It was so good to see you. And yes, any questions or if you need a pattern or anything, send it to ourtimetoquilt@twc.com and I will get right with you. Oh, Inger, it's so good to see you. Thank you for coming all the way from Norway to spend part of your Sunday with us. I love you all to bits. Be creative this week. Take good care, everybody. And good night, Miss Nadine, you sweetie pie. My sunshines, her, Miss Nadine, and Miss Cheryl Lemon. I love y'all to bits. Take good care. Bye-bye, guys.